All right. Good evening, everybody. I hope you all had a great weekend and a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. I'm Milry Williams, Speaker Engagement Director for 40 Plus of Greater Washington, and thanks for joining us for our Monday evening speaker series. As you know, 40 Plus of Greater Washington is a 70-year-old nonprofit organization, and our mission is to help experienced professionals know and confidently communicate their value in securing a new position or in changing their careers. As many of you already know, we do that through a range of programs like this evening's speaker series. If you're looking for a way to keep your skills sharp and enhance your resume, consider volunteering here at 40 Plus of Greater Washington. There are tons and tons of opportunities, and we certainly would appreciate your help. Please check out the support button on the 40 Plus website. Occasionally, we receive and post job announcements from regional job centers who see 40 Plus as a recruitment resource. I would urge you to periodically check our career portal on the 40 Plus website as well. And finally, if you want to check out previous sessions or be alerted whenever we post new content, please like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell on our YouTube channel. There's lots and lots of great content there, and a way for you to refresh your memory on some of the skills and tactics that have been shared previously in this Monday speaker series. We'll take I hope you'll join us next Monday, December 4th, for Mark Stucker's presentation. So check out our website in the next couple of days for more details. So now that some of those announcements have been done, I'd like to welcome this evening's presenter, Jean-Michel Tournier. Jean is a mathematician, web designer, growth marketer, business coach, career strategist, LinkedIn trainer, and former aerospace engineer with an affinity for learning, technology, and things out of this world. With a doctoral degree in aerospace and nuclear engineering, Jean is a former university professor, keynote speaker, and internationally recognized author of more than 150 publications. He worked closely with NASA, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and the U.S. National Laboratories, designing spacecraft to send astronauts to Mars and Jupiter. It's the reason his friends, and clients affectionately call him the LinkedIn rocket scientist. In 2015, Jean melded online branding, SEO, web technology, and software engineering with coaching, which is his first love, and founded Spotlighting You on the web. He's helped hundreds of clients discover their ikigai, or reason of being, transition smoothly into reinvented dream careers, and then jumpstart and grow successful businesses using their breakthrough LinkedIn branding, networking, and marketing strategy system. It's called Breaking the Ice. Impress, connect, and engage. A LinkedIn trainer and social selling wizard, Jean is passionate about empowering job hunters, coaches, and consultants with the knowledge, technology, and social selling skills required to stand out and be successful in today's competitive business environment. So with all of that, Jean, welcome to 40 Plus of Greater Washington.
Thank you so much, Mary. I really appreciate the invitation. And thank you, all of you here. We're taking some time out of your busy schedule. You know, I know the kids are tugging at the pants legs, and dinner is on the table. So thank you for joining us. So I don't know about you, but I've sat in a lot of webinars, and typically the speaker talks about themselves for 20, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. Thank goodness it's not going to be one of us. So you're going to get a lot of values today, you know, and that's and basically you learn exactly what you need to know and what you need to do to be successful in your career. So let me share my screen. We're recording, Mary? Yes, I think so.
Yes, we are.
Yes. So I would be happy to take, you know, I'll be happy to take questions throughout the talk. I know we have quite a bit of time, and I'd like to learn a little bit more about you guys. If you don't mind dropping in the chat, maybe the industry and the job title you're going after when you grow up. So we get to get to know a little bit of that audience, so I can hopefully, direct my talk to who you are and what you're looking for. So don't be shy. Try to be a little more interactive today, unless, of course, you are petting the dog with one hand and hitting with another. So we'll forgive you for not engaging today. Okay, we have Marianne, a fundraiser for Green Group. Nancy, TV producer, writer. Okay, yes, I know a lot of you, and moving into coaching eventually, actually. An attorney, employed. It's a good job title, Mark. And we have Howard, business development for consulting or tech firm. So you are, yes, tons and tons of job for you, Howard, here right now. Healthcare consultant, Cassandra, executive director of, Crystal. It was nice to meet you earlier. Professional service director, Robert, Kenneth, different low policy. Yeah, some really interesting group we have here today. Certification PMP with John. Caroline is substitute teacher, bless your heart. I have a saying for teachers, overworked, underpaid, and underappreciated. A lot of teachers in my family, and I was one too. Videographer, Rusty Trade, IT Tech. All right, well, I appreciate you guys sharing a little bit about you. So we've got some powerful executives on board here today in a variety of industries. A lot of talents, I see. That's terrific. I'm going to share my screen with you, and we are going to get started. All right, here we go. Perfect. So, by the way, please feel free to reach out on LinkedIn, and connect and take advantage of my extensive network. It happens, I'm also a sort of super connector. So I've spoken to 3,000 of my connection the past few years. So sometimes I'm able to actually connect people together. I says, you need something, and I know the perfect person, perfect gal for you. So don't be shy, reach out, please. Write a personal invitation message, because I get a lot of inbound, invitation, and so I'll make sure I don't miss you in the mix. And you can see my LinkedIn profile out there, or you can look for the LinkedIn Rocket Scientist. You'll find me there on LinkedIn.
And John, it might help if they sort of noted that they saw you or heard you on 40 Plus. So that that'll be another connection.
Let me know you come from here, of course. So exactly. So I don't miss you, and I'm accepting you, of course. All right. So perfect. So I don't know about you, but this is a very popular media piece on my LinkedIn profile. So how many of you feel like you are stuck on the hamster wheel, right? So of course that would be the case if you have been looking for a job for a long time, whether you're currently employed or not, and you probably pulling your hair out, getting frustrated because I'll give you an example. So last month I connected with a very talented woman who's been unemployed for 6 months and applied to 1,000 jobs online. Now, don't get me wrong, she used automation, right? She used JobScan and Indeed, a little bit of automation to apply for more jobs at scale. But still, maybe she got three interviews that didn't pan out in 6 months, right? But the problem with this is that you keep doing the same thing over and over again. You're going to get the same results, right? Supposedly Einstein said that, right? But the bad thing about that too is that you will start getting discouraged, right? Because you're going to feel like an unwanted, unloved professional, right? And I know you're all very talented, but after receiving a lot of rejection letters, rejection emails, or not hearing at all from applying for job, your confidence drops down fast, okay? And that's not a good place to be, because how can you interview well when you have no confidence in yourself, right? We're humans. We feel that, you know, whether it's on the phone or on video Zoom. And you're never going to get the job when you've lost confidence in yourself. So we need to change that. A little bit joke here. So yeah, if you've gone insane, sorry, I can help you. It's too late. Okay, but you get that. Okay, so some of the things you need to know first. Okay, so have you heard of that little pesky things called the applicant tracking system, or ATS? So it's a little piece of software that screens resumes for keywords, the right keywords and the right frequency. So, you know, 95% of companies use an ATS nowadays. Why? Well, I'll give you a scenario. So the first of the month, I post a job on LinkedIn, on Indeed.com, etc. After a week, I have received 500 applicants. After 2 weeks, maybe 1,000 applicants, right? When I close the job after 30 days, we're sitting on 2,000, 2,500 applicants. Who's going to read all of this? Nobody, right? So it's all a little piece of software that's going to decide your fate. Not a good place to be. And I hear this all the time. My clients call me the resume whistleblower. Your 1 or 2 page resume cannot compete, right? Because think about it. You need to have the right keywords and right frequency. You need more content. So I'm gonna debunk the resume right up front for you guys. And then we will never talk about the resume again because that's useless. Okay. So the short resume comes from historically the time to respect the time, the need to respect the time of the hiring manager, right? So I'm not going to hand out the hiring manager my life story on 36 page, okay? So the problem is your resume has to be the ATS. So, you know, so in the old days, so my clients will have a 5 to 7 page resume if they're at the executive level or the C level. But what you need is a 1-page cover letter pasted on top of your resume, okay? So all I'm asking the hiring manager to read is that 1-page cover letter, and it has to be personalized, of course. And you need to find the name of the hiring manager, right? No, dear sir, or dear madam later, or dear company ZZ, right? That doesn't work. Okay. So this is the story about the resume. So unfortunately, most of you guys, most of the people I talk to, that's all they do, right? They look for jobs online and they throw their resume against the wall, left and right, left and right, left and right. And you know how well that works. It doesn't. The other thing you need to know is that the majority of jobs are not actually advertised online, okay? So if all you do is apply for jobs online, you're missing out on 4 out of 5 jobs, okay? How do we uncover those hidden jobs? This is called the hidden job market, you know? And you uncover them by developing relationship and networking with the right people on LinkedIn, the right decision makers at your target companies, okay? And you've heard that before, right? It's all about the people you know, and it's still very true today in the age of technology. A recruiter typically scans 600 LinkedIn profiles a day. I know I've talked to some that actually were looking at 800 a day, and you know what they do all day long? They roll their eyes, right? Because it's like, okay, come on, give me something. No. How many of us actually have taken the time to develop our LinkedIn profile? Your LinkedIn profile is your professional portfolio that's going to carry you through the rest of your career, you know, so it's an essential element of your success. Now, company employees are also looking for you. Did you know that between 30 and 40% of jobs in America are filled in through employee referral programs? What does that mean? It means that, you know, I'm a hiring manager. I go and talk to my employees. Says, okay, guys, we're looking for, you know, VP of sales. And if you recommend someone and we hire them, there's a nice little $3,000 bonus for you. Okay. It's a low bribe, right? A low bribe to encourage your employees. But you know what to say, right? So if you recommend someone, it's almost a sure sell every time, right? So if I know and trust someone and they recommend someone to work with me, I'm more likely to listen to them, right? And I'm more likely to consider that candidate, right? So that's the employee referral program, guys, okay? How do we access that? By networking with employees at the companies you want to work with, right? Okay. So how does that work? Well, you need a strong professional LinkedIn profile to get you noticed and stand out, SEO optimized, and I'll show you why, to come up at the top of the search engines, and a large network to be found. Okay, so I'm setting the set for you guys here. Okay, so let's look at this a little more details here. Okay, why applying online does not work. So those are the 4 different channels used in a company to screen candidates for the hiring manager. Okay, so let's start with the left. So the left channel is a high volume channel, right? So that's where usually we spend our time, right? Hey, there's a job advertised online, let's apply. So it could be 1,500, 2,000 applicants, okay? Your application has to make it through the ATS. And God knows a lot of companies use very antiquated system like Taleo, etc. You know, so avoid any kind of formatting in your resume, by the way, right? So you've seen those fancy new resumes now, right? You have a photo, you have color, you have pictures and frames. Guess what? It's beautiful. It's great to hand out to someone in person, but it won't beat the ATS, okay? The ATS gets stumped by multi-columns, tables, frames. So anytime you have something complex, some complex formatting on your resume to make it beautiful, you risk to be blocked by the ATS, okay? So avoid that. So if you're still using resumes to apply, make sure everything is in line. So you know you can make 3 sets of keywords, for example, on your front page in your core competency. Use tabs to separate the keywords, but don't use multi-columns, don't use tables, okay? All right, assuming you beat the ATS now, HR is gonna review the few hundred applicants that made it through, okay? And HR is looking for something wrong with your application. No cover letter, next. Non-professional email address, bigjoe@yahoo.com. Sorry, if he doesn't take the job seriously, what should we take him seriously, right? So HR is looking for something wrong. They're not looking for you. They're looking to weed out people that missed or messed up something, okay? And maybe they come up with 10 candidates that we make it to the desk of the hiring manager. Okay, so we're talking about less than 1% here, right? Less than 1% success rate. Okay, now there is a second high volume channel, which is a recruiter channel, right? So you have recruiters at the company. So yeah, Mary could tell you all about this, right? So you have recruiters at the company. The company could hire an executive search agency or headhunters, right? And those people are networking on their own, you know, pulling candidates out of their database, out of their network. They are always building database of potential candidates, right? Maybe they scrape resumes off Indeed.com, right? They scrape LinkedIn profiles. So, you know, they may screen 1,000 to 1,500 candidates, and then they feed 5 to 10 candidates to the company, to the hiring manager, okay? Those are the 2 high volume systems. Now let's talk about the internal channel. So unfortunately, a lot of jobs that are advertised online are advertised for internal promotions only. They're advertised to fulfill the HR regulation, right? We have to give everybody in the world the chance to apply for that job. The truth is, they already have a candidate in mind, okay? Someone is getting a promotion in the company, in the department. So even so, you're applying for jobs online, you don't know if those jobs have already be prepared for a person in mind, okay? So you can get 1 to 5 candidates that way, okay? Now there is the 4th channel, the referral channel. That's the one we want to be focused on today. Okay, so referral channel now is networking with someone in the company that is going to be wanting to help you and become an advocate for you with the hiring manager. Okay, so it could be a company employee that's a part of the employee referral program, ERP, right? It could be someone you know at the company you went to school with, right? Networking with people you know is very powerful, right? It's a recommendation, a great recommendation for you to the hiring manager. Or it could be a relationship you build with someone that can become a great advocate for you. Okay, so we will get into this in more details today. Okay, so those are, so you guys really need to understand how the system works, right? Okay. So those are the different steps, best strategy for developing your career, you know, and this is going to help you not just for this next job that you're seeking, but also for the rest of your career. So you will never be unemployed for long periods of time anymore. Okay, and that takes preparation. So the first thing, you need to have your ikigai clarity. You need to be very clear about what you want when you grow up. Okay, so that's very important, right? So for example, I ask my clients all the time, it says, when you are in career transition, it is always an opportunity to climb the ladder, right? So I ask my clients and I tell them, okay, can you do the job of your boss? And then a lot of them says, oh, sure, I do it all the time. He goes out on vacation for months and I'm in charge of the whole team for him, right? He trusts me. So you haven't been paid for it, but you're doing the job. So it's an opportunity. If you want that job, you can go after it, right? Or you could say, you know, I really enjoy what I'm doing now. I'm comfortable. I'm good at what I do. I want the same kind of job. There's nothing wrong with it, okay? You need to find out where you fit what you want with you to do with your life, right? So the most important thing I want you to remember today is this one. I want you to shift your mindset. You're not a job hunter. You are a problem solver or a consultant. Okay, basically you're offering a service that's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars lifetime, right? And you're being paid for doing that job. Okay, so you are a problem solver, you're a consultant. So what does that mean? You need to start thinking about being a job hunter, and you need to start selling yourself, marketing yourself. And I know it's hard for a lot of us to do, right? Because it's a different exercise. So those of you that are in sales and marketing, you're probably really good at selling and marketing the service or the product of your employer. Now you have to learn how to sell and market yourself, okay? So that's what I want you to remember now, okay? So you're a marketable good. You're not a job hunter, you're a marketable good. You're selling skills, you're selling talent, you're selling consultancy, what, you know what I mean?
Expertise.
Expertise, thank you, okay? So since I'm here, I'm going to give you my best advice for a great interview. Okay, right on that subject. So before your interview, read your LinkedIn profile again, read your resume again to boost your confidence. Oh my goodness, this is me. I have done all of this. I'm pretty amazing. I'm really talented, right? So boost your ego, boost your confidence before the interview. And once you are in the interview, I want you to change your mindset. You're not interviewing. This is your first day of work. You've been hired as a consultant to solve their problem. You got me? So I'm going to repeat that. I want you to change your mind. You have been hired as a consultant. This is your first day of work. What do you do on the first day of work? You start doing the job. You ask the right question to understand the problem, to understand what they need. And then you start proposing solution. You start brainstorming with the team. I guarantee you, if you can do this during the first interview, you will get the second and the third interview, because you'll stand out from everybody else who is a job hunter that is looking for, who's waiting to receive questions. Remember, they have read your profile, they have studied you online, right? They may have talked to your references already. They have read your resumes. They know everything you've done. So the interview is not about that. It's not about to rehash. The interview is to find out if you work well with others, if you are a good fit, if you know how to, if you can think outside of the box, if you play well with others, right? That's what the interview is about. So start doing the work during the interview. So that's my best advice for you guys for your first interview, okay? Shift your mindset. Okay. So now we have to learn. So you're going to see throughout my presentation now, this is going to be a little bit more about branding and marketing. How do I brand myself? How do I market myself, right? So you may hear some words that you're not familiar with. So you need to develop a powerful personal brand on LinkedIn to build trust and credibility. And you need to stand out with your unique value proposition, UVP. Okay, what's so special about you? Why are you different from all your competitors that are in the same job position? Okay. So there's a little bit of soul searching here, right? And so you need to uncover your UVP, unique value, and express it in words through your accomplishments, etc. Now I want to talk about SEO optimization of your LinkedIn profile to rank on top of the search engines. By the way, LinkedIn, as Google and Bing have indexed all of LinkedIn. A lot of recruiters search for candidates on Google. They don't go to LinkedIn directly, and they will uncover LinkedIn profiles on Google. Okay. So guys, this is very powerful. You know why? Because we can rank you on top of the search engine, because nobody knows how to do it. So it happens, my agency has perfected LinkedIn SEO in the past 5 years. So if you use the teaching today about SEO optimizing your profile, you'll be in the top 3 position on LinkedIn for your key phrases, guaranteed, because nobody knows how to do it. Okay. Now, if you ask me to SEO and rank your website on Google, sorry, it doesn't work anymore. Okay. But LinkedIn, we can do it still. Okay. Then I'm gonna take you through serious visibility communication LinkedIn mistakes, okay, which I see probably 65% of people on LinkedIn do, and you want to make sure you don't do them. Now, there's a difference between people who are complacent in their job and not being paid what they are worth, and high earners. You know the secret of high earners? They are always looking for opportunities. So whether you're employed or not, I don't care. You should be looking for something better. You should put out feelers. You should start networking with people in the company you want to work for, okay? So how do we do this? Well, once your LinkedIn brand is polished and ready to impress, you need to identify target companies who are growing that you want to work for. And you need to start networking with the HR department of those companies, the managers, the hiring managers, the employee connections you have, and uncover company advocates, okay, that you want to build a relationship with, that will be helping you get the job in the company, okay? All right, so we have a lot to cover, guys, but I'm going to try to move a little faster here. But it's going to be recorded, so you'll be able to watch the recording, okay? So I'm not holding out on anything for you today. So 2020, what happened in the beginning of 2020? The pandemic, okay? Well, it threw the world in turmoil, created a lot of fear for all of us, for family, fear for our children, fear for our family. So in 2021, Microsoft did a survey called the Great Resignation, and they found that 41% of the entire global workforce worldwide, not just in the US, were considering handing in their resignation. as well as 54% of Generation Z workers, okay? So it was harder on the younger generation, right? At the time, 50 million Americans quit or changed their job in 2021, and there was 4.5 million people quitting their job every month in the USA. Okay, pretty crazy, right? Now, there's one good thing that came out of the pandemic. Okay, and you're welcome to check out my profile, read the Ikigai post, and I'll go over that a little bit. So it gave people the courage to change their life, right? Because that fear was greater than the fear of being jobless. So it helped people starting to reevaluate what mattered to them, right? What mattered to us? What's important to us? What do we want in a job? What do we want in our life? So it was good from that respect, and it shook the tree, right? And it helped people change their life, okay? So that's a good thing that came, okay? So when I moved to McKinney several years ago in the northeast suburb of Dallas in Texas, I'm in Texas, yes. I had the chance to meet Michel Prince at a networking event. So we moved to be close to family. My son-in-law was dying of cancer, so we wanted to be here to help. And so I started networking, you know, going to local networking events, etc. And I met Michel Prince, who worked for a very long time with Zig Ziglar. And she had a beautiful presentation, and she said something that stuck with me that I can really relate with. You know, she said, we are all unique. We have special gifts. We have a purpose. And it's our job to find our purpose and live our lives fulfilling it. Okay, so we have special gifts, and we need to use our gifts to make a difference in the world. Okay. So what do you want to be when you grow up, right? So we need to start with clarity of what you want. You know, you've heard Tony Robbins talk about it all the time, right? 75% of Americans are unhappy, unfulfilled in their job. Is that you? Well, 3 out of 4 of you, right? Christine, she is nodding she's nodding again. Yes, I'm not happy. Well, you know, so it's very important before to go through that soul searching step, right? So you need to find your purpose and find balance between your passion, your mission, your vocation, and profession. You know, so you need to ask yourself this question: what do you love doing? So that's a circle on top. Okay, so it's a Japanese concept called the Ikigai, which I use in my coaching practice. So what do you love doing? The second circle is, what are you good at? Okay, because maybe I love basketball, but I'm too short. I can reach I can reach the basket, right? And I get trampled over everywhere, right? That doesn't work. Okay, so I'm not good at basketball, but maybe I love watching it, right? What does the world need from you? Now that's the pink circle on the right, guys. So, you know, very often I worked with high achiever and executives who have accumulated financial wealth in their lifetime. But they come to me, they're very unhappy in their job. They're very unhappy in their life. Something is missing. A lot of the time, they are missing that need to be of use. You know, it says, okay, I'm making money, that's great, but I'm not feeling fulfilled. Okay. So a lot of people miss that pink circle, you know. Am I making a difference in the world? You know, is my work matters? Am I helping others? Okay. And of course, can you get paid for it, right? So let's not forget that fourth circle, right? Can I get paid for doing what I love and what I'm good at? So I could be a great painter, a great artist, right? And unfortunately, I could also be struggling all my life to make hand meats and put food on the table for you know, my wife and my kids, right? So when all those circles come together in your life, bullseye, right in the middle. So we're all striving to find our ikigai, to find exactly where do I fit in the world, okay? Where I can do what I enjoy doing. I can get paid for it, so I can support my family, and also making a difference in the world, right? So you need to start doing that step first, soul searching. You know, before we brand, we develop a client's personal brand. They have to be very clear. You need clarity about what you want. You know, because yeah, we can brand you for anything you want, but if you're going to be unhappy in that job, maybe we should try something else, right? That's not going to be good. Check out my post on in my featured section, media. This is a post actually that was very well received on LinkedIn. So a little bit about LinkedIn now. So did you know that we are going to hit the 1 billion members early next year? 1 billion members. So people are going to say, yeah, Jean-Michel, but there are a lot more people on Facebook. Yeah, but Facebook, a lot of people on Facebook use Facebook to stay in touch with family, right? Grandkids and grandparents, right? I cannot source for candidates on Facebook because I don't really care that you went to La Petite, middle school, 40 years ago. That's not telling me anything about the person you've become, right? So you see now why this is where LinkedIn stands out, because people share so much about their professional experience, about themselves, that companies, employees, recruiters can source great candidates for jobs, right? So help them develop that brand, right? You may not know this, Microsoft purchased LinkedIn for $26 billion 6 years ago, okay? 7 years now. Now, 39% of LinkedIn users pay for premium, mostly in the US, India, China, and the UK. I'm going to show you why you need a premium account shortly. Okay. So there are 194 million Americans on LinkedIn. That's 58% of Americans are on LinkedIn. Now you may say, oh, Jean-Michel, that's not that much. Well, okay. Take out all the babies, the teenagers, the young people, the grandpas and grandmas that are retired. Okay. Take them out of the pictures. They're not involved with business development and jobs. And you find that 85% of working Americans are on LinkedIn. Okay. So that's great for recruiters. Now, that's not so great for you guys because you're competing with a lot more people now, right? Because everybody is getting on LinkedIn fast since the pandemic, right? 3 new members every second of the day. Tick, tick, tick. That's 10. 10 new people, okay, already. 2 of them are in your industry, okay. So a few more important data. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. So there are more than 58 million companies on LinkedIn right now, okay, with 15 million open jobs. Now remember, this is only a fraction of the jobs available, okay? But it's nice to know they're there. Some of them are there, right? 25% of them. Now, obviously, since the pandemic, we've seen a large increase in number of remote jobs, hybrid mode. So, employers have listened, employees are pushing back. They want flexibility, they don't want to be spending 2 hours on the road every day commuting, right? So this is good for us, right? It's good for us. We have a lot more flexibility. We can spend more quality time with our family, do the things we want. Okay. So there are 5.3 million jobs on LinkedIn right now, advertised on LinkedIn. And more than 500,000 of them are remote and hybrid, if that's important to you. Now, what's this interesting? Professionals are 25 times more likely to connect and engage on LinkedIn than opt-in into your email list. So if you're a marketer, you understand what I mean, right? You're trying to build your email list. Guess what? It's a lot easier to connect with someone on LinkedIn, 25 times faster. Okay. The nice thing about LinkedIn, now you have direct access to the decision maker. So hiring manager, your next boss, right? You bypass. So remember in the old days, we would call in the company, right? Can I talk to the VP of sales, please? And of course, who are you talking to? You're talking to the executive secretary, and she's not going to let you talk to him unless it's really important, right? So gatekeepers, right? LinkedIn bypasses that, right? I can find the VP of sales on LinkedIn and connect with him or send him an email, okay? Super powerful, guys. And reaching out to hiring managers or industry leaders via email on LinkedIn is almost 3 times more effective than sending them an email, okay? And by the way, if you are in career transition, you want to show that you continue to develop your skills. Now, don't get me wrong. In the past, it was not good to show gaps in your resume, gaps in your LinkedIn experience, right? But of course, since the pandemic, it's become very acceptable to stay home, to take care of a sick family member, right? It is more acceptable for women to stay home to rear young children, right? So just make sure that as you have those gaps in your experience, just make sure that you show you continue to develop your skills. You know, you stay up to date with the development in your industry, right? Otherwise, you're going to be left behind 6 months later, right? So, so the good thing is, you know, there are over 15,000 LinkedIn learning courses available with a premium account, and you have access to LinkedIn salary as well. So you have a, you know, pretty good stuff. So why do you need a LinkedIn premium account? So I'm not going to go through all of this for you, but number one, you will get, you know, 25 to 50 emails a month to message anyone on LinkedIn, okay? Even if they're not in your network, okay? If you have a premium account and you're trying to reach out to another premium account, likely there are an open profilers. You can email for free anybody that's an open profiler, as long as you set up your settings correctly. We go over that, right? Hey, you can show that beautiful golden premium badge. Hey guys, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm a serious expert. I'm a serious professional, and I'm in business. Okay, well, that's important. You know, your image. By the way, LinkedIn is going to give you a boost in the search engine. Right? So you get actually something for your money for a change, okay? So, but more importantly, guys, you will be a featured job applicant. So I talk to you know, job hunters in distress all the time since the pandemic. And, you know, you've been, sometimes they've been employed for 5 months, 6 months, 8 months, a year. So of course, their confidence level is way down the drain. But more importantly, they're also running out of money. That's not a good place to be in, right? And being worried about how to put food on the table for your family. So the first thing that goes is, well, you know, I'm going to get rid of all my subscription, of course. And guess what? The first thing they shed is a LinkedIn premium account. Wrong move, guys. So when a recruiter searches for candidates on LinkedIn, all the free account holders are at the bottom of the pile. You got me? So everybody who has a premium account will be on top of the pile. So it's kind of like the iceberg, right? There's a piece of the iceberg on top of the sea level. That's a premium account. All the free LinkedIn accounts are under the sea. They will never be seen by recruiters or company employees for that matter. So do not get rid of your LinkedIn premium account if you're job hunting. You want to be on top of the pile. So remember, you're going to be in the top third, right? So let's say 40% of Americans have a premium account. 40% of your competitors have a premium account. So you're beating the other 60%. That's worth it for, you know, $30 a month. Okay. So blah, blah, blah. Advanced search, of course, you'll be able to target, you know, advocates, company employees better. See who's viewed your profile. LinkedIn will show you everybody who visited your profile. Why is that important? Guess what? If you follow our SEO optimization strategy for your profile, you're going to attract people to you. You're going to attract the right people to your profile. And you will know everybody who visited your profile. That's pretty powerful, guys, right? So if any of you have been working with a website before, you know, trying to sell a service or product with a website, it would be nice to know who your website visitors are, right? Well, yeah, you can for $10,000 a month. So, you know, and only particular type of companies in the US, right? So it doesn't work well. LinkedIn will show you everybody who's visited your profile. Super powerful. It works for me in my business. I have no outbound campaigns in my business. I rank very high on LinkedIn worldwide. So I just wait for people to find me. And if they're too shy to connect, I just send them a very specific invitation message, and I get 2 out of 3 who accept me, and we get into a conversation. So very simple, very powerful. It's a good problem to have.
John, John, you might remember that's how you and I met.
That's right. Yes, that's right. Yeah, that was a long time ago. We've both evolved a lot since then.
Yes.
So, you know, you guys, so a little bit of joke here, take a little break for you guys here. So, you know, for many people, LinkedIn feels like rocket science, right? So I have a little joke there. You know, I used to work for NASA, and a lot of the time I say, it's not rocket science, right? It's not rocket science. And Jean-Michel, stop saying that. Okay, you know, this is where I can say it because I'm actually a rocket scientist, right? So I am a rocket scientist that will solve your problem. So anyway, a little joke for you guys. Okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit about LinkedIn now. Okay. So now you understand, forget about your resume. Your LinkedIn personal brand is 100 times more powerful than your resume. Okay. You can get into a conversation with a company. You can get into an interview without the need for a resume. Now, if a company really wants you, guess what? A lot of the time that happens to many of my clients. The hiring manager says, hey, John, we really want you, but we've got to follow HR regulation. We got to crank your resume through the ATS. And sometimes they will give them the ATS keywords to put in their resume. You know, make sure those keywords are in your resume. So it's just a formality at that point, right? So you don't get a job because of their resume. They get the job because of their personal brand, the unique value proposition, and networking with the right people. Okay, you get that? Okay, so unique value proposition. Remember now I'm not talking to a job hunter anymore. I'm talking to a marketer. Okay, you are a marketer. You have to market your skills. You have to sell your skills. So now we're using different language, guys, right? So unique value proposition. You know, your expertise as a problem solver. What kind of problems do you solve? Okay, what's different about you? Okay, why are you so special? Tell me, right? And of course, what's very powerful with LinkedIn as well, which you cannot do with a resume, is that there is an emotional component as well. So your profile, you want to write in the first person, share some of your personal story, and connect your personal story with your passion for doing what you do now. So I guarantee you, when I have a client that has what we call the founder's story, right? The founder's story in line with their passion. So a lot of that happens when they found their ikigai. That story is so powerful, their engagement rate is like 2 to 3 times higher than another candidate. Okay, so very, very powerful. We have clients, when they are writing their ikigai, we have clients that get 80% reply rate. We send 100 messages, they get 80 replies. I know that's crazy, right? But it's possible when everything comes together. So write in the first person, share something personal about you. You know, the hiring manager is going to hire someone who is talented, but someone they like too, right? I'm going to hire someone I like, you know. So there's John, Mary, and Peter. They all fit the job description. They're all talented, but John loves dogs and I love dogs. Guess what? I'm going to hire John. You get it? I'm going to hire the person I like. I'm the hiring manager. I can do anything I want. Okay. All right. And something less known, because I know some of you are trying to get more traction and visibility by posting on LinkedIn. Guess what? If you have not achieved an all-star LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn is not going to distribute your posts very well. Most people don't know that. And I have a special webinar on that to train marketing agency on the subject. So that's another bonus. When you take time to develop your personal brand, you know, your post will get more outreach. Hey, we take it. No,
John, can you just go back and just say a little bit more about that all-star profile?
the all-star profile will happen when you have developed your profile enough with more content and leveraging many of the sections available on LinkedIn, which I'm going through now. So guess what? You know, in the introduction, you got that banner photo, guys. So I tell my clients, you know, the brain responds to an image faster than words, right? Much, much faster. So I have an image that conveys the industry you are in, the kind of things you do, okay? And create a tagline for yourself. Remember, you are a consultant, you're not a job hunter, okay? You are scaling, you are selling talent and skills. So create a tagline for yourself, something memorable. You know, so for me, of course, the LinkedIn rocket scientist sticks with people, right? It's easy to remember that. So that works for me, right? Create a tagline for you and put it in the image, okay? As long as your summary. So you have a headshot photo, smile, professional, no wedding pictures, no dogs, please. Okay. It has to be a professional photo, smile, you know, smile in the camera. You don't need to hire photographers. Smartphones take great high quality photo now, right? Have your kids take a few pictures of you, and they can pick one for you. It works great. Okay. So now you're gonna have your name. By the way, if you install the LinkedIn Smart app on your phone, you can record that 10-second audio recording. You'd be surprised how much you can say in 10 seconds. Get people to hear your voice, get a feel for you, okay? Your headline is very important for SEO, 220 characters. There's a bunch of other stuff. Okay. Summary, your summary about section is essential for your personal brand and storytelling. You have 2,600 characters there, guys. So use it. Use all those characters, okay? And then I'm going to teach you mirroring, very powerful SEO strategy. Add some media. So a lot of people put their resume there, right? A photo of their resume, your diploma, right? All my diplomas are on this wall here. I used to have them behind me. I changed my feel. You know, I changed the way I reach out to people. I want to be more approachable. You know, you could have client testimonial. You could have, you could have degrees. You know, you could have photos of your awards. You know, I work with a lot of very talented salespeople. Most talented salespeople of the year are there. You know, a lot of companies have great awards to, you know, to foster that friendly competition between salespeople, right? Now in your background section, you're going to have your work experience section, very important also for personal branding, education, volunteer experience, licenses, certification. And then the accomplishment section, we go over it. 50 skills, you can load up to 50 skills at the end of your profile. And I'll show you how to identify the right skills for you. So if you have skills, your chance of being discovered by someone on LinkedIn and get into a conversation is 31 times. And of course, recommendation, right? So if you haven't thought about it, go back to your former colleagues, former bosses, and ask them to write a great recommendation for you on LinkedIn, okay? And ask a few of them to be a reference for you, right? Because when you apply for a job, well, you're gonna have to give them a list of 4 or 5 references, right? And don't wait until you're out of a job for 6 months to reach out, right? So you should be doing this all the time. Okay, so this is what it looks like, right? The front end, the introduction of your profile. You got a nice banner photo, you know, a nice headshot photo. I should be smiling more, but that's just the way I am. Okay. You can see here I have a headline, 220 characters. It's keyword rich. Okay. You're gonna have your contact info, and then if you're bold enough, remember, as a consultant, you can create a service page on LinkedIn. You see the bottom of that slide. So check out my service page, and you can request up to 20 testimonial of former clients or former bosses to get you jump started with your service page. Okay, so So remember, you're not a job hunter, you're a consultant. Okay, you're a problem solver. Change your mindset. So if you remember one thing today, that's what I want you to remember. So 4 essentials of branding. So the problem solver format, right? So again, you're going to see words like avatar, unique value proposition, CTA, call to action. What is the avatar? Avatar is your ideal target, your ideal boss, right? So if you want to be a director of sales or, an account, senior account executive, your boss could be a VP of sales, for example, right? So this will be your target audience. Unique value proposition, again, is what distinguishes you from other account managers, okay, account executives. Why are you different? Why are you so special? What's your track record? Call to action, okay, let's talk, right? Let's explore how we can, looking forward to learning more about what your company does and exploring how we can work together, Speak to their pain points, show you understand their challenge, show how you solve the same problem for someone else, okay? So those will happen in your accomplishment bullets in your work experience section, okay? So very important. I'll show you how to tell a great story, which you can use for your resume as well. So core competency format, right? Reputation as social proof. This is what I call typically, the front page of your resume, Your work experience section should start on page 2 of your resume. Oh, I'm sorry. I said I would not talk about the resume again. So I'm not talking about the resume again. Okay. So conventional resume format, okay, is just a denomination. That's basically, this was my job title at this company. How do you build that section? So start with 2 or 3 lines about the company. Not everybody knows the company you worked for. So look on the website. Wikipedia is a great source of content for information on companies. Show how important and how amazing and successful that company is, right? So drop some, annual revenue if it's big, how many locations do they have? How much business do they gross, etc. So a little bit about company. Then you have a section about your duties and responsibility. Entrusted by the VP of sales for opening a new territory in the northeastern of the USA. And then list powerful accomplishment bullets written as short stories. Okay, so of course, as you know, you're going to pick stories which have measurable accomplishments, right? So I save money, I save FTEs, okay? I improve a process, I improve a software, I reduce the level of dissatisfied clients, okay, etc., etc. Now remember, like everything else, unfortunately, humans can write and talk, and actually most people never hear what you say, right? You're probably not understanding anything I'm saying now, but it's all about body language, right? So it's all about presentation and body language. That's what the mind remembers, right? So 30% content, 70% presentation. Yeah, so make sure you use a lot of white space. Nobody wants to read a 6-line long paragraph, right? When you look at somebody's profile and you see that big block of text and you're like, oh, geez, I don't have time to read that. I'm busy, right? What are they trying to do here? So feed the information piecewise, use a lot of white space. You use lists with bullets, special characters, so people really understand what you're doing and they keep reading and reading and reading about you. So guys, I know there's going to be a lot of information here today. Just please review my LinkedIn profile. I use all the strategy on my profile, and I design my profile to show my clients how to do it, okay? So you're going to find all the tricks in the books on my profile. So don't be afraid to study my profile and emulate it, okay? You're welcome to it. Write in the first person, okay? So how do you tell a great story, guys? So you have to remember, we usually are the hero of our stories, right? And that's why we all look, on LinkedIn, we all look like superheroes. Look at me, I am the best. I am the best career coach on the planet. I am the best sales professional on the planet, right? Of course, we all look like superheroes on LinkedIn, right? It's a mistake, actually. So the hero is not you. The hero is your boss. Because your boss doesn't want to hire someone who's going to take his job away, who is going to take the limelight away from him, right? You know, you're here to support your boss so he can shine and he can impress his boss and impress the board of directors, right? So you are the guide, your boss is the hero. You understand? It's very important how you write the story, right? So what does the hero, your boss, want? What's your pain points? So identify his pain points, identify the problem, okay? So, you know, this is loosely modeled after the story brand by Don Miller. You know, there's many different models like his model. This is our version of it, okay? So it's a glorified version of Don Miller's story brand for those of you that are in marketing or sales, but it's a very affordable book. So, you know, I encourage you to, if you really want to understand how to present yourself and develop your personal brand, that's a good resource to get you started. So, so in the book, he gives the example of Star Wars, right? So who is the hero in Star Wars? Okay, so that's Luke, right? Young man, right? And what he's supposed to do, he's supposed to save the world. Okay. Oh, nothing to shout about. Okay, yeah, I just need to save the world. And how, where is he going to get the help? He gets the help from the Jedi, right? So the Jedi is a guide, right? You know, Obi-Wan, right? Obi-Wan was the guide. So you want to be Obi-Wan, you're not Luke. You are Obi-Wan, you're the guide, okay? You're the support system so that Luke can save the world. So your boss can save the world and shine, okay? So remember that, okay? So you are the guide, you are the problem solver. So that's how you tell the story, okay? Identify the problem, develop a plan of action to solve the problem. How did you implement the solution? And don't be shy about giving credit where credit is due. It's teamwork, okay? So you're doing your job, you're using the available resources in the company, the available team members to make this happen for the boss, so the boss can shine. That's not you, you're not shining, you're in the background, okay? Got it? And then of course, you're gonna tell us what happened after your implementation, the amazing, beautiful results, right? So most people tell a story by just step 5, right? This is the results. I got great results for my boss, right? So that doesn't work very well. I'll tell you why. Because it doesn't make an emotional connection. So I'll give you an example. So my wife loves to watch those home remodeling shows, right? Home remodeling shows, because you know, so they show you that fallen down home, you know, and then those architects come in and they turn that broken down home into a beautiful palace, right? And then they show you the before pictures and the after pictures, right? That's how you tell a great story, right? If you only show me a palace, I says, yeah, well, it's a beautiful palace, but it doesn't allow me to appreciate the work you put into it. But if you show me the fallen down home before that, now I says, whoa, you did that? That's amazing. You turned this into that? You understand? So most people tell the story by just saying, I did that. Look how beautiful, look how amazing it is. Try to tell the story by starting with the problem, the pain point, okay? And then of course, if you received any congratulation, accolade for a job well done, you add it to the story, okay? So that's how you tell great stories. So I want you now I want you to start thinking about telling 2 great stories using that model for each previous work experience section, okay, on your resume. By the way, you use the same format for your resumes. Tell the story on LinkedIn and on your resume, and then you condense that story into 2 or 3 lines. So it's an art, right? It's an art to condense those 5 points of the story into 2 short sentences. But that's what you need to do, okay? And that's how you're going to make that connection with the hiring manager and impress them. Because we are humans, we love great stories, right? Now, once you've done your LinkedIn profile, let's not forget to look at your online presence everywhere else, right? So sometimes I talk to younger people, right? So it's like, okay, yeah, hey, your LinkedIn profile, they come to me, Jean-Michel, I've been applying to so many jobs, I've had so many interviews and nobody wants to hire me. Then I looked at their Facebook page and I see that, well, you're doing a little bit too much partying, and you're very comfortable with your body, you know. So it's like, so you get the idea. It's a joke, right? But you understand your brand. The point I'm trying to make is your brand has to be uniform everywhere. So it's time to grow up, right? So if you're Generation Z, you know, yeah, LinkedIn is not going to be enough for you. You need to clean up, you know, your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, etc. Obviously, I think hopefully I'm talking to a more savvy savvy audience today, but hey, a little humor won't kill anybody. How do you request a LinkedIn recommendation? So you go to the person's profile. They have to be a connection already. Okay, so you have to be, so make an effort to connect with colleagues and bosses, former bosses and colleagues. And then when you click more next to the, you know, under their picture there, you can request a recommendation from them. Okay. And then, so they have to be a connection, and then you go to their profile first. That's how you get to a recommendation. Okay. And then you have to answer a few questions. How do you know that person? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So now a mistake I see all the time, guys, is that, you know, you go to, so you reach out to someone and they tell you, oh, yes, I'll be very happy to be a reference for you. This is great. Thank you so much. And can I ask you another favor? You're going to ask them, would you write a testimonial for me, a recommendation? Sure, I'm happy to write something and I will endorse it. No, don't do that. Okay. Never write a recommendation for yourself. You will never feel authentic. Remember, we're humans. We can smell, we can detect inauthenticity from here to the moon, right? So never write something for yourself, for someone to endorse. They have to write it in their own words. And they may surprise you because they're going to notice things about you that you didn't even know about you. You know, we think about ourselves as being a certain kind of person with certain gifts. And we says, yeah, this is the kind of person I am. This is the thing I'm good at. And actually ask your family members, ask your friends, ask your bosses, and you'll be surprised. They come up with other ideas. So you learn about yourself through the eyes of others. So help them. You're not going to write it for them, but help them bring the context back into context. Remember, we were working on this project together. We brought in these new accounts together. So give them some information to refresh their memory, to help them write something great about you, okay? So don't neglect your education section. So check out mine. You know, you can write a lot more, so you can show some of the things you were involved doing. So, you know, most people don't know that, but I was a chess tournament champion and a sand volleyball champion, and I was pretty good at a lot of different things. I played the piano too. So share personal things about yourself to make that emotional connection. You're not just a professional, you're a real person, to connect emotionally, okay? And by the way, look at the end here of that slide. Do not touch the dates. Okay, so when you had an education section, do not touch the dates. Okay, otherwise you're going to date yourself. People are going to see, oh, okay, they got their bachelor in 1982. How old are they now? I can do the math. Okay, and then you're going to be subjected to age discrimination. So don't make it easy for people to figure out your age. Okay, so don't touch the dates. If you did already, delete it and build it again. Okay, all right. Don't neglect the volunteer experience. Again, how do you support your local community? Show me that you care about other things beside work and your family, right? Do you volunteer at the local soup kitchen? Okay, you know, Little League, you know, whatever. So don't be afraid to share something more personal about you, again, to make that emotional connection. So you're more well-rounded person, a caring person, okay? Who has many interests and who is dedicated to certain causes. Okay. Accomplishment section, you can talk about, you can if you have publication. So there's some things you want to mention on LinkedIn and your resume. So if you are an author, if you are written anything, if you are a former military, if you are a former athlete, you want to mention those things. You know why? Because it tells me something about the kind of person you are. So I talk to many recruiters that tell me, yes, at this company, we only hire former athletes. But wait a minute, they're looking for salespeople. It has nothing to do with their physical ability, right? But no, it tells them something about the kind of people they are, right? They're driven. They're not afraid to push themselves. They're perfectionists. They want to win, you see? So if you have any of those things, if you have written anything, if you are a former military, tells me something about the kind of person you are, right? If you are a former athlete, you need to mention those in your summary and in the background section in your profile in the right place, okay? All right. LinkedIn Learning, again, LinkedIn is pretty amazing, right? Because now, if you are in career transition, if you're home watching the kids, you know, Mr. Man, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Somebody's got to take care of the kids. But you see the pandemic, right? Well, the schools would not have our kids. It was too dangerous, too scary. A lot of kids moved back home, right? As you know. So I was Zooming with clients, you know, with corporate clients from home, and now they are Zooming from their bedroom. So you know, I made a joke. I say, so your kid moved back home, and you gave them the office, right? I says, yeah, that's what happened, right? So, but anyway, okay. So if you're home, you know, if you're a homemaker, if you're watching the kids, bless you, continue to develop your skills, you know, take advantage of LinkedIn Learning. LinkedIn purchased lynda.com for $1.5 billion in 2015, okay? Yeah, Ron, you have a question?
Yeah, we had a question come up in the chat about the LinkedIn picture. What can you do with that to help that keep that from dating you in your profile?
Well, you know, you can. I know some people use a younger picture of them, but I mean, you know, you have to be prepared to do a Zoom interview at some point, right? So I mean, you know, we have to be comfortable on camera as well. Learn to be comfortable on camera. So I see we have some shy people that are not showing your face here today, but you're probably doing something else or playing with the kids. That's okay. You know, lightning, you know, the right angle. So you have to play with that a little bit. Have the kids take pictures, and the kids can pick a picture. So yeah, I mean, you know, you may have to do your hair, take a nice shower. You do the best you can. I mean, you know, I mean, you're not going to be able to hide your age for long, but at least you want to get the interview. You want to impress before the interview, right? So,
Jean, I think this person is actually is Crystal. She's more concerned with racial discrimination and gender bias potentially.
oh, I see. Well, it's unfortunately, you know, if that's going to come as an issue, then you probably don't want to work for those people, right, Crystal? I mean, you know, think about it, right? And a lot of people now, you know, it's kind of like it's the same thing with customers right now. We do have buying power, so we choose which company we want to support by buying product from companies that we believe in, companies that believe into what we believe, right? That are supporting the community, that are more green, right? More environmental friendly. So it's the same thing when you're going to identify the ideal companies you want to work with, Crystal. You want to identify companies that have the same type of cultures you believe in, you know. And so yes, there's still a lot of discrimination against women in the workplace, you know, and it's very well known that they don't get paid as well as men. Unfortunately, that's going to change hopefully soon. But you know, we need to bring more feminine energy into the mix, right? I think that's what's wrong with the world today. There's a strong imbalance between the masculine and the feminine energy, and hopefully the changes are happening to rebalance that. But basically, yeah, you know, if those companies are you know, if they have a problem working with someone like you, and whether it's racial or gender related, you probably would not be happy working with those people. So I would look somewhere else, right? So unfortunately, yeah, there are companies, there are a lot of people like this. You know, we are you know, we are uncomfortable with people who are different from us. You know, and we all have to overcome those bias, unfortunately, right? It's just so it is what it is. So, you know, here you have a lot of resources for learning. So if you are in career transition, you're watching the kids at home, you know, show that you continue to develop your skills. You know, if you are in tech, if you are in sales, guess what? You should learn how to use AI, right? Because if not, you're going to be left behind. Okay. So, you know, that's one great way to distinguish yourself from your competitors right now as consultants or problem solvers, right? So if you show me that you've put a lot of effort lately in the interim of looking for a job into educating yourself in AI, well, you're going to stand out against other candidates that don't know anything about AI, right? So look at what's happening currently in your industry and try to learn those new hot skills to be different, okay? To be high in demand. And of course, you can display those beautiful badges of accomplishments on LinkedIn, right? Through Linda, etc. So, okay, so let's talk a little bit about SEO. Okay, I'm not going to have a lot of time to talk about SEO, but I am going to give you the basics. So please reach out to me, connect with me on LinkedIn, request my advanced LinkedIn SEO guide, and I will be happy to email it to you for free, okay? And that's pretty true, right? So basically, you know, if I find, you know, when I search on Google, right? Google is so powerful now. I'm going to find what I'm looking for on the first page of Google. Who looks on page 2 or 3? Raise your hands. Okay, so I made my case, right? So there's no hands. So LinkedIn is the same thing. You can rank on LinkedIn because nobody knows how to do it. That's why it works, guys. Okay. So SEO is pretty organic again. It's about content. There's no trick, right? There's no black hat techniques. So for those that have developed website, you know, I started consulting 20 years ago, by the way. Even so, I was duly employed, you know, a university professor. I get bored easily. And I was educating myself with web technology. I was building websites for CRM companies, online database. So I have a lot of experience with Google and website and SEO as well. But LinkedIn SEO is its own special science, okay? So, and as I told you, Google and Bing have indexed all of LinkedIn. So you'll be found on the search engine as well. Your LinkedIn profile will be, okay? So I call this activating inbound or attraction marketing. Again, it says, wait a minute, Jean-Michel, I'm a job hunter. No, you are not a job hunter. You're selling yourself, okay? So you can see here, I did this in purpose. I'm changing the vocabulary. I'm changing the narrative for you. You're a consultant, you're a problem solver. You're a talented consultant, okay? So you want to attract the right people to you. The right people are the people that need your services, that need your talent, that need your skills, your next boss. Maybe you start with a contract, okay? So they are hiring you as a contractor first, get your foot in the door, and you do such a good job, eventually they hire you full-time. Okay, that happens to a lot of my C-level executives, right? It's hard to get a C-level job, right? As a CXO, right? Or even a CEO. So you can consult with the company, your target companies first, get the foot in the door, build a relationship. Eventually, they may hire you full-time or create a position for you because it says, we don't want to lose that person. Okay, you get it? Okay. So we call it inbound or attraction marketing. So this is what you need to know. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but you need to identify your top key phrases you want to rank for. And you want to place them on LinkedIn in the right place. Your headline, 20 points for keywords in the headline. You want to put them in your summary about me section. 10 points for keywords in the summary. And you have 2,600 characters, lots of room, okay? You want to put them in the job titles on your profile. Everything that's bold and black on LinkedIn is HTML1 or 2, high ranking for SEO. That's where you want to put those key phrases. So look at how I did this on my profile, okay? You want to get your skills endorsed at the end of your profile. The more endorsements you get, the higher you rank on LinkedIn. So reach out to 25 people on LinkedIn that know you, family, friend, colleagues, clients, and ask them, would you mind endorsing my skills? Let them know of the SEO advantage. This will increase your ranking, your SEO ranking on LinkedIn, and I'll be happy to reciprocate and endorse your skill as well. Okay, so you do this, you get a boost against everybody who doesn't have any endorsement on their skills. So you can get 25 in a week. It's pretty good. So mine are all endorsed at 450, except the top 3. So, oh, okay. Okay, I want to tell you about mirroring your target audience guy. So super, super powerful. So have you noticed when you do a search on LinkedIn, LinkedIn starts showing you people that are more like you first? So if I search for someone, but I don't specify the location on LinkedIn, LinkedIn is going to show me people in the Dallas area first, okay? Because I'm in the Dallas area, okay? So what happens next? So what you want to do in your LinkedIn summary, you want to mirror your target audience. So you want to mention the job title of the people you want to be found by. You want to mention the industry you want to work in. You want to mention the location you want to work in, if that's important to you, okay? If you're not telecommuting, okay? So here's an example here. So let's say I am a director of sales, or I am a senior account executive, right? So I'm gonna have a sentence like VP of sales, HR directors, hiring managers, recruiters contact me to discuss employment or consulting opportunities. You see what I did here? So I dropped the title of the people that I want to be found by. So let me tell you what happened. So because I have the word recruiter in my LinkedIn summary, LinkedIn thinks I'm a recruiter. So when a recruiter searches for someone like me on LinkedIn, I'm on top. I'm above, I rank higher than anybody that does not have the word recruiter in their summary. You got me? You guys understand that? That's super, super powerful. So because I have the word recruiter in my summary, recruiters are going to find me on top of the pile above everybody else who does not have the word recruiter in their summary. You got that? So use this to your advantage. Super, super powerful, guys. Nobody knows that. And that's why we do what we do. Okay. And that's why our clients are always on top. Okay. Well, we guarantee top 5, but they are in 3rd, 2nd, sometimes 1st position. Nobody does that. That's why it works, remember. So if everybody start doing it, then that doesn't work anymore, right? So you got a way to go. So you could have, okay, so remember that, super, super powerful, guys. Super, super, super powerful. All right, so if you know what you're doing with SEO, so this is my own stats, so you can see. So if this was not my personal profile views on LinkedIn, that's just my profile. And then you can see how also I have optimized LinkedIn company page. And you should have a LinkedIn consultant page. It's free, okay? So this is kind of your portfolio as a consultant. So you present yourself as a consultant and create a LinkedIn company page and optimize the company page and the name of your company page. So you can see here my first company page, which is basically advertise my career coaching services for job hunters. This page gets 840 hits a week. There's no campaigns, guys. I'm just sitting there looking pretty on LinkedIn and waiting for people to find me. Well, at least my wife thinks I'm pretty. Okay. And then LinkedIn trainer and business coach, my second LinkedIn page. This is for selling my business coaching services, right? This one doesn't do as well, but I still get 416 hits a week on that page. What does that mean? It means that I have 1,500 people here that find me on LinkedIn from my 2 optimized company pages. So study my profile, study my company page, learn and emulate, okay? It works. There's the proof, right? It works, okay? So remember that LinkedIn is very flexible. So, you know, I have job hunters that come to me and say, oh, Jean-Michel, you know, I can only do 2 experience section because I only work for 2 companies. Not. You can write anything you want on LinkedIn. Study my profile. So you can see here, I have a work experience section that's just a blog, right? A blog post, if you want. I have a plain letter format there, right? Attached to my LinkedIn company page. So study my profile. You can write anything you want, guys, okay? And SEO optimized. All right. So what can go wrong? A lot of things can go wrong. So I found someone that did everything wrong on LinkedIn. Okay, so look at that. Okay, so no banner, no photo, right? No headline. Of course, no network. They are showing their competitors in the right column. So I want to tell you this, recruiters use the right column to up from one candidate to another quickly on LinkedIn, right? They do a search on LinkedIn. They look at your profile, they say, okay. And then look on the right, and LinkedIn is going to show them other people like I was searching that probably going to look better. So you've lost that recruiter already because you look like this on LinkedIn, okay? So we'll make sure you don't look like this. Another very important, a very serious mistake I see, look at the bottom of that slide, guys, is that you must have a present experience on LinkedIn. So, you know, I see people that were fired, 3 months ago, with Google, or I mean, we know the tech industry has fired a lot of people, Meta, etc., right? This past year. So it shows, worked for Meta from 2014 to January 2023. The problem with this now is that, recruiters can weed you out of the search results. Okay, so if you don't have a current work experience section, you're not going to show up. So what do? You create a current work experience section using the strategy I showed you before that highlights your core competency as a professional consultant, a very talented professional in your industry, So maybe you have 15 years of experience, 20 years of experience. So you showcase that experience, those competency in your own work experience section above Meta, above the last company you worked with, okay? So very important. So this is 2 serious mistakes I see all the time, okay? So obviously you're not going to connect with someone that looks like this on LinkedIn, right? So I don't have time to share those with you to help you change those settings. This will be in my SEO guide, okay? So you guys will have to request the SEO guide, and we can do this here. Let me try that. Okay, I'm going to put this in the chat if you guys want to check these settings for yourself. How much time do we have, Mary? There's so much more I want to tell you.
We are nearly at 8:30. So I just want to make sure that you leave just a few minutes, Jean, for questions.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we need to do that. So I'm sorry, I'm not gonna have time to show you how to fix all those problems. Okay, but my LinkedIn Advanced SEO guide, I will add those to it for you. Okay, so just request it. And then let me see, I want to show you a couple of things here. So you want to make sure you're fully visible and open on LinkedIn, not browsing LinkedIn incognito. So that's what it's about, right? So it's about your visibility on LinkedIn, even if they're not connected with you. You want to show your face. You want to share your full name. You want to share your full headline. That's what those settings are about. And also you want to make it easy for people to communicate with you on LinkedIn. Okay, that's very important. So that's what this is about. Now I want to show you here very quickly. I did promise you one thing here, right? The last thing that I promised you to do. So I've gone through 3 out of 4. So what do you need to do once your LinkedIn personal brand is well developed? So you're ready to impress, okay? So always be looking for opportunities. And then I'm going to show you the strategy you need to use here. So you want to identify target companies on LinkedIn who are growing, okay? So where are you going to find them? Well, you can find them, you can look at companies that are advertising for jobs on LinkedIn, right? And look at LinkedIn jobs and look which company are advertising and download the list. So of course we have tools to do all of this, right? But that's typically what we do for clients. And we run campaigns that scale for them. So you can download the 50 to 100 companies from LinkedIn jobs, identify the companies you really want to work with, okay? You can use a Sales Navigator account filter, okay? Account filters, and identify companies that are growing, companies in certain industry, companies of a certain size, companies who are growing specific departments at a certain rate in the past year. So very, very powerful search engine, okay? And also with Sales Navigator, you can identify companies that are currently hiring on LinkedIn as well. But they don't have to be hiring on LinkedIn, right? Remember. So, or you can build a list of dream employers for yourself, right? This is, hey, Jean-Michel, I really want to work for this company, this hospital. And that's okay. So build yourself a list of, 25 to 50 companies you really, really want to work for, okay? Once you identify those companies, basically we upload them back into LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and we identify the decision makers and the advocates that work at those companies for you. And you can do this manually, of course, right? It's a little time consuming. So you're going to look for VPs and directors of HR. Remember, I mean, companies are collecting, just like recruiters, they are collecting list of, list of potential candidates for the near future. So you want to get, if it's a company you really want to work for, you want to get on that list, right? So let the HR department know. They are very easy to connect with. They will connect with at high rates, and you're ready to impress, right? So it says, hey, you connect with VPs and HR directors, identify hiring managers, your next potential boss, and potential advocates. Okay, people who are already in C-suite at high level that will become spokesmen for you to get your foot into the company. Okay. 2 strategies we use: ask for hair, advice, insights, and recommendation. Okay. So what we're looking for here, we're looking for people that are willing to help you. So I call this the mentor-mentee relationship. So, I was a professor for 20 years. So if a younger person comes into my office to ask for my help, I feel compelled to want to help them. So this is what advocates are. Advocates are people in high places in companies that are willing to help someone less experienced, that they have something in common with, right? Maybe it's only 1 out of 3 you reached out. That's okay. Okay. So ask for help. We are leveraging that mentor-mentee relationship. Someone that's willing to help someone like you to grow your career, to develop, okay? And then we leverage scarcity also. So you can say something like, as you reach out to them on LinkedIn and email, I'm currently interviewing with other promising companies in your industry, but I really love you, right? And we should talk. So create scarcity for yourself. Show that you are in high demand, and there is a sense of urgency there, right? So by telling those decision makers that you're currently interviewing, you create urgency, okay? And that's going to help you. So ask when you connect with me, I'll be happy to share that case study with you, So Deborah was a potential a client we worked with earlier this year. So we use the same strategy, right? We identified 200 companies for her, but she picked 50. She says, Jean-Michel, I really like those 50 companies. They're perfect for me, right? Then we identified VPs and directors of HR, hiring managers for her, about 6 decision makers per company. And we put those 300 people into a campaign for her to reach out. okay, and let them know she's available and how amazing she is. And after 3 weeks, she was on 12 interviews, and actually she was offered a job with her top favorite company. So she's very happy. Just wanted to, first, I wanted to thank you today for taking the time. I know it's late. I know the kids are pulling at your pants legs. You know, dinner is steaming on the table, and you have a zillion things to do. So thank you so much for being with her today. And I wanted to do something special for you. Okay, so I'm happy to offer you a 50% discount coupon on my 4 LinkedIn courses. The most interesting for you would be probably the profile makeover, personal branding, okay, and SEO optimization. And also I have a course on optimizing LinkedIn settings. But I'm happy to send you my advanced LinkedIn SEO guide, okay? And then I want to do something even more special for you today. So if you need help and you're struggling with LinkedIn and struggling with your job search right now, reach out, connect with me, request a free 1-hour consultation with it. You know, and of course, spots are limited, but I'll be happy to speak with you. There'll be no selling, pure value. It will be entirely about you. And maybe Miri, what we do is tomorrow morning, maybe I will send you this so you can email everybody and let them know, you know, so they don't have to worry about copying this, copying and pasting that. Okay.
All right. That sounds good, John. Before we get away, though, I think Howard had a question earlier, and I said that we might have a few minutes at the end for him to ask his question. Howard, do you still have that question? Well,
you're welcome. I would say yes. Well, Howard, if you can unmute yourself, or even show your face if you want, and
yeah.
And
yeah. Well, maybe Howard's gone.
You're welcome, Mark. Glad you could attend.
It seems like the question was answered for Howard. So, all right.
Oh, it was? Okay, no problem. So,
yeah.
Howard was talking about, do you suggest using text-only online resume version for online job postings? Well, Howard, you know, avoid formatting. I mean, you can use bold, italic, you know, bullet list, tabs, but avoid any kind of complex formatting like frames. You know, I know a lot of people are doing some very particularly in marketing, right? So if you're in marketing and you're used to doing some beautiful documents and PDFs, that doesn't work for the ATS. So avoid tables, avoid multi-columns, avoid frames, and you should be okay. But again, you know, you can apply online for a job, but it's a lot more effective to network directly with the decision makers at that company for that job, right? So that's what we're talking about today. You know, I mean, you know, I talked to people who applied for thousands of jobs, 500, hundreds of jobs in periods of time, and they get discouraged. Nothing's happening for them, you know. Howard, I love to talk to you. Definitely, yeah. Please connect. And okay, no problem. No, you're very good with the chat, so it's working. Yeah.
Okay.
Howard is saying his camera and mic was off today, but he was able to. We're chatting, so yeah, love to connect with you, Howard, and offer you a free consultation. So looking forward to it. Yeah.
So let me just take a moment and thank you, Jean. And I just encourage everybody who is online tonight to just connect up with Jean and take him up on his offer. So thanks a bunch, John. I really appreciate it. And I'll loop back around with you and we'll have another conversation.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you so much for the invitation. Right. Thank you all for spending the time.
Thanks, everybody.
Good night.
Have a great evening.
I look forward to connecting. Bye-bye.
Okay.